Alright, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. So, kit went on good. We were just here a little bit late. Everything looks good. It rides amazing. Now, the only problem is we found out that our knuckles are bad. So we had to get new knuckles. But, on today's agenda, we have the RedHead steering gearbox. So, this is gonna be amazing. See, this is supposed to get rid of all of our steering slop. So, the old Chevy steering slop. So, RedHead is a family-owned company in Washington State. And what they do is they CNC machine and rebuild with actual ball bearings and nice cut gears and everything. Steering gearboxes, even Dodge and Ford. So the ones that have bushings and whatnot, they take the bushings out and the sleeves out, they mill it out, and they put actual ball bearings in there and properly clearanced gears. So that's what we're excited about. So you can get rid of this whole steering slot. Look, steering wheel's moving, tires not moving. And no, it has nothing to do with the steering linkage or any of that. You can see the steering linkage itself moving. You can see the top of the gearbox moving, and the tie rods don't move. So that is what we are doing today. I am excited. So along with that, we have the PPE pitman arm. So talking about making this truck bulletproof and war ready. Let's see. Yeah. Boxes on boxes on boxes on boxes. So, look at that. Made in the US of A. Ready to go. I'm excited. Super excited. So, this is amazing. That is Courtney leaving because our vinyl cutter is finally here. So we can start making decals and sending those out to you guys. Okay, so we have some O-rings and an invoice. So we'll take this over to the office so that way it doesn't get lost. And Courtney's not like, I'm trying to file this, where is it? All right then. So again, we have some O-rings. We have a sales statement here. Oh, here we go. Core return instructions and bleeding instructions. So the instructions are on the sales statement. All right. So, warning, any adjustment by anyone will void the warranty. So don't adjust this. It's pre-adjusted. This gear has been bench tested for play. Check thoroughly for any defects. It has been determined that there is no play in this steering box. If you are having any issues with your gearbox, please contact us. The bolts in each of the mounting holes are thread integrity bolts and are not meant for mounting. Return them along with your core. O-rings come in a universal kit. Depending on your gear, you may only need 2 of the 3. If you have a manual or flare style gear, you can disregard and send them back with your core. Please drain the core of fluid and replace port plugs. Use plastic bag that we sent you. Your new gearbox, if it's still intact, reuse packing materials to ensure that the box is returned to us without hassle from the courier. Also, if possible, tape or re-tape the outside of the box to strengthen it. If these steps aren't properly performed, the gearbox may end up in hazmat and be delayed in getting to us. Please include a copy of your invoice if you have not been supplied with a prepaid return label. Bleeding instructions. After installing the gearbox, fill the power steering reservoir with fluid. Raise the front wheels off the ground or leave one end of the pitman arm detached. Do not start the vehicle. Turn the steering wheel from lock to lock 15 to 20 times at a rate of 1 revolution per second. If vehicle has hydro boost brakes, apply the brake pedal a few times during this procedure. Top off the pump reservoir again. Have one person in the vehicle and another person at the pump reservoir with a container of fluid and a funnel if necessary, ready to pour. Start the engine. As soon as this happens, if the fluid level drops, pour in more fluid. The level must be kept at almost full level and will suck in air back into the system. Turn the steering wheel just shy of lock to lock 15 to 20 times at a rate of 1 revolution per second. If vehicle has hydro boost, apply the brakes a few times during this procedure. If the steering wheel reaches at far extremes either direction, do not hold it there. Get away from it quickly. Will not try to go extremes while the engine is running. Drop the vehicle back down to the ground and or reattach the pitman arm and test drive. If you have any issues, please call 800-808-1148 and speak with tech support. It's recommended that brake pedal be applied like every time you start turning the steering wheel. So, yeah, pretty standard stuff. No big deal. So, let's go take a look at what we gotta do. It is hot. I feel like it's even hotter today than it was yesterday. Yesterday was a real feel of 105. Today the air is just stagnant and it feels like it's even worse. Alrighty, so what we've got to do, there's the steering gearbox. So we have to disconnect the lines, disconnect the pitman arm. Alright, back to what I was doing. Alright, so right here, so we gotta pop off this pitman arm. There are 2 fluid lines, and then there are 3 bolts that are on the side of the frame. These 3 bolts. Once you pop those 3 bolts off, it falls right out. I'm definitely gonna have to take the skid plate off because it's right in the way of me getting to that pitman arm bolt. So skid plate's gotta come off even though we just installed it. And we can get to work. Alright, first things first.
A few moments later.
Alrighty then. So my bike got knocked over because it's a little bit lower than the kickstand's not right. So we have custom kickstand. We have custom bar ends so that when it leans over, it won't damage so much. Then we also got a chesty, so I can GoPro for the American Tactical family when we're doing fishing and shooting and drills and stuff. So, super excited about that. We have Roaring Toys kickstand. That's gonna look super dope on this. And it's gonna take care of a whole lot of issues. Those are gonna be perfect. So, obviously not going with the gold ends, we're gonna be going with the blue ends, but these should be perfect to cover up the ugliness that is right here. There we go. No more ugliness. Yay. Super stoked about that. So, that's going to be happening today. And then we have new front tire showing up tomorrow. Unfortunately, I'm not gonna be able to do the rim so that it matches, but the fairings are on the way since they were trashed. And everything will be copacetic. So, it is what it is. Oh well. So, truck will be good, bike will be good, and we have new toy at home to play with via vinyl cutter. Yeah.
We can see.
You can see.
So what you doing down here?
Alright, so we
What
just
you doing
got
in these
the
woods?
bar ends on. Switch out the blue. I'm putting the bolt on right now for the lowered kickstand. Got this lock nut here. I'm going to put on right meow. There's no room, I've realized. Alright. You got the brake on? Can you hold that up?
Hold it up.
Hold that up. Yeah.
There you gotta get your needle in
There we
there.
go. Alright, lean it over.
Hey, that's so much better.
It's like you don't have to worry about your bike falling over on a 110 degree asphalt day for your bike to fall over.
Or for your fat ass nomad.
Ding. Blackie. Not that he watches this shit anyway, but.
Infantry!
Alright, anyway. So we got our cool new battery charger for our friggin' GoPro batteries. So you just plug it in, stick your battery in, batteries, and wait for it to turn green. Woo!
One eternity later.
Alright, it's the next morning. I'm tired. The reason why is, so we got the Billet pitman arm. Okay, so we have the Billet pitman arm. Now the thing about the Billet pitman arm is, and we haven't hooked the lines up. All we've done is thrown the RedHead up there and got him mounted on the side. But we had to drill out the steering arm because the forged pitman arm has a 7/8 bolt that goes through it, and so I had to drill it out, and it took literally like 4 or 5 hours. It was horrible, and that's why I'm so tired. But we got it done. Now all we gotta do is hook up the lines and bleed it, and then hook it up, and then get it down to the alignment shop, and we're done. We also unboxed our vinyl cutter last night, so we can start making and sending out decals to you guys. So there's that. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna struggle with getting the lines in. Once I get the lines in, then we can bleed it and shove a bolt through the hole.
Bolts and holes.
Bolts and holes. And I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm so tired. I'm so exhausted. Between doing those drop brackets on the diff and then having to drill out this arm, I know some of you are like, oh, quit complaining. You don't forget, guys, like, I am a retired disabled veteran. This is all, like, really taking a toll on me, like, super hardcore. I've been limping around, I can't sleep right. Alright, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna loosen up the mounting bolts. And I want you to loosen them up to see if I can move this thing at all, a little bit, to get those lines.
Just make them a little jiggly.
Yeah.
You can let it go.
Alrighty guys, so we finally got the lines in. We got the lines in, we got the new Bilstein stabilizer in, everything is good. Now let's take it on a test drive, see where we're at. Got new steering fluid in it, a little bit, but there's no way that's the box. But you can feel like instant, oh man, that's so weird. Definitely need to break it in a little bit, it's a little stiff, but I can't steer. Old one. Okay, so just doing some circles here. There's lightning. Trying to work this thing in. So yeah, apparently I found an air bubble and it didn't allow me to steer for a second. So yeah, but man, this feels so much better already. As while applying the brakes. Yeah, we're getting the air bubbles. Just gotta work some air bubbles out of it, that's all. But wow, it's so weird. So weird. Man, I can't wait to get the alignment done. Now I'm really excited. So steering's a little off, as you can see. You can smell a little bit of hydraulics. But yeah, full on braking, and it still was able to turn now finally. So full on braking, it's turning. You just gotta work it in, but man, it's so weird. So weird. Not having a mile of play. This is awesome. So amazing. Wow. That's awesome. That's awesome.
Considerable difference.
Crazy difference.
I think you're just going to need to top it off after your first tank.
I just found some air bubbles is all it is. I'm a full on the brake and yeah, it's good now. So yeah. Alright, back in, we need to do this axle, so we just gotta do the axle and the sway bars. And we're good to go.
Cool. You mean sway bar links?
Yeah, sway bar links, yeah. And then, yeah, I mean, it desperately needs an alignment, but it is what it is. Yeah, front tire on the bike, so. Alright, we get the sway bars, end links done, and get this axle on, so that way that shit can get sent back, and yeah, we're good to go. I just need to get that knuckle. Yeah, that's so weird. It's so weird, like, so weird. I mean, it's just like, it's stiff, but it's just so instant, but it's stiff, and it's never been like that. It's like the fucking Z. Like how the Z was kind of like stiff, but instant. Literally, it feels like the Z now. It's fucking weird. I can't wait to get the alignment done, because the steering wheel's a little bit off, but man, wow. Awesome. So I'm doing redneck alignment. Wheel straight, doing a piece of twine. We got it squared up on the rear wheel, and we're just gonna adjust the front, get it squared up.
Squared up as possible before we get our alignment tomorrow. And then we'll do the axle there, and then we got these skyjacker sway bar inlays.
Alright, so get the skyjacker sway bar end links up, give us more clearance so that these tie rods can clear. Make sure it barely miss here when it's lifted all the way up. This barely comes near this, like pretty close, but it'll be alright. We're not gonna be jumping it or anything like that, so if anything, it's gonna be compressed and go higher, and which will give it more clearance, so it'll be good to go. So it's pretty cool. It's like a ball joint down here is what this is. So that's sunk in. It's got like a flange here, and then it sinks in. As you can see, the bolt and nut and washer, and then draws it down in. So it's pretty cool. It's a heavy duty, very heavy duty sway bar end link.
Yeah.
I'm pretty stoked about it.
I'm excited to see how this rides now. Fox. Oh.
And they're tight.
Yay.
It's done.
And then look at that CV axle freaking angle. Woo! Woo!
Bilstein stabilizer, RedHead gearbox, PPE forged, pitman arm, PPE forged, racing tie rod ends, zone 3-inch drop kit,
Skyjacker 3-inch.
Fox 2.0s, because Zone doesn't sell them that way. Skyjacker end links. See, so we just custom build our own. Like, you want a badass, simple lift kit, this is it.
Right. You want to just take one of the thick zip ties and pull it up, like way up here, and like wrap that around the.
No, because then the brake line's gonna rub on the oscillation of the upper control arm and wear a hole in, and then boom, we have no brakes.
Right. Okay.
And then we have 7,500-pound Duramax
Cannonball, come on.
I don't know where that came from.
I don't know either.
Alright, so Courtney just took it around the block for the first time. Well,
I took it down there, and like typically when you're feeling like it's gonna rattle your entire spine on everybody.
how's the steering feel?
It's weird. It's like it's soft, but it's not.
It's responsive, like it's supposed to be?
It's soft, but it's not. I don't know how to explain it.
No more steering slop.
Yeah, like it's gonna
That's
have,
from like the bushing. Like,
Yeah.
so I just have to change out like the bushing. Well, there you have it, people. So there you go. So Zone kit for the win. Doesn't feel like it's gonna rattle your brains out like the rough country kit does. The RedHead, definitely worth the money. I can tell a difference. It's amazing. But I'm gonna throw the skid plate on and we're gonna head home.